What it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one and only Ash Said It. AshSaidIt.com. AshSaidIt.com. Welcome back to the Ash Said It Daily podcast show. I appreciate you guys for all of your love and support. It makes a huge difference. Over 1,000 episodes, 500,000 streams worldwide. Wow, it would not be possible without you guys. So I thank you each and every day, each and every kind of way. Today, I am joined by survivor, advocate, and life coach, the beautiful Tracy Malone. Hey, Tracy.
Hi there. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. I know that you're a busy lady. You know, you're jumping here, jumping there, but we're glad to have you here joining with us.
I'm so happy to be here.
All right, Tracy. So, to start things off, let our audience know, where are you from? Where do you represent?
Well, I am an advocate for victims of narcissistic abuse, and I became an advocate from learning about my own patterns of my life and the people that have been in it. But I didn't learn it till I was 55 years old, and I couldn't believe that people don't know about this, and none of my friends pointed me in the right direction when things were going bad. So I'm here to educate everybody that I can and help as many survivors get to the other side of recovery.
Yes. How did you find the strength to actually start this support system?
I think as I started to learn about agencies that if I was not making a website for a client that knew about them, I would have never known these resources were available. So I just said, I'm going to write this down. I'm going to share this. And I started with the website and YouTube channel, and it's just been a journey for me. And I haven't really stopped learning. It's been 2.5 years, and I am partially learning for my audience, but I am also partially learning to just make sure that this will never happen again to me.
Right.
And I'm like a magnet that they're just afraid of now.
Good. As they should be. They should be very afraid. So,
Narcbuster, that's me.
Yes. Now, as you were embarking on this brand new ideal of narcissistic abuse support, what were some of the challenges that you were facing?
I think just getting the word out and finding the people that are victims that need help. And, I started the YouTube channel, just took off on its own. And the website has slowly been growing as I've added over 1,000 resources.
Wow.
And what's cool about that is people from Kenya and therapists from all over the world are submitting their stuff, so that when people want to know, where can I get a therapist near me? We're gathering them, and that's all organic. It's been really successful.
What would you say has been your proudest moment?
My proudest moment. Interviewing you.
Oh, you're so sweet. I mean, a real moment, Tracy. Come on now.
I think I started working with the Colorado Coalition Against Domestic Violence, and I think probably my proudest moments were being part of changing laws in our state to help support victims, because feeling a part of that and just making an actual change, it's very powerful.
Gotcha. All right, so we're going to take a brief break. When we come back, we're talking more with Tracy Malone, and we're going to talk about how one could maybe identify a narcissist in their life. So you guys hang tight. We're going to be right back. Did you know that some foods can cause weight gain, body aches, and extreme fatigue? These are just some of the symptoms of food intolerance. Well, what is food intolerance? Food intolerance can occur when the body cannot properly digest certain foods. This can result in acid reflux, migraines, and so many other painful issues. How do you find out what foods are causing this irritation? It's easy. Pinner Test. With 500,000 satisfied clients worldwide, Pinner Test is the #1 way of identifying foods that may be causing discomfort. This simple at-home kit is easy to use, with results usually within 2 weeks via email. It's that simple, all right? What are you waiting for? Go visit pinnertest.com and use my special promo code AshSaidIt for your discount today. Welcome back to the Ashton It Daily podcast show. Today we're chatting with Miss Tracy Malone, the founder and CEO of NarcissistAbuseSupport.com. Tracy, how does one identify a narcissist?
Well, initially it's very hard to identify a narcissist because they don't look any different than you or I, and they generally are extremely charming. They are, their bad traits don't come out until they've hooked you. So some of the things to look for in the very beginning are what we call love bombing, when you are suddenly their soulmate. And love bombing means they want to spend every moment with you, and they might bring you gifts, or they might just treat you or your children. They can love bomb your children to win your heart. So in the beginning, it's all beautiful, everything's perfect, and then you start to listen to their story, and you might hear about crazy people in their past, or you might get the feeling that something isn't right. And you might start to see the chronic lying patterns, because that's one of the biggest things that we often miss, because we have now fallen in love with them and think they're our soulmate. But like, they might tell you something, and then a few days later or a month later tell you something completely different. And that's when your intuition goes inside your gut and says, wait, you said this last time. And they just sit there and deny it. So, those are some of the beginning things. They have a pattern of instability, no accountability, no empathy, and an entitlement that most people just hear the word entitlement and go, yeah, they think they're great. They think they should have the latest iPhone. But it goes much deeper than that. And it's a pathological entitlement, and that would be entitled to things that you are not entitled to.
Right.
So you have to look for that kind of signs, and they use guilt and pity ploys, and we have something called flying monkeys. After the end, they get your friends to abuse you back in their name. So there's lots of signs, and you can find all of them on my website.
Yes. Now, what about people that may be in a narcissistic relationship right now? I mean, we touched on that, when I was on your show and your program, but what about someone that is dealing with that now, and maybe they haven't thought of an exit plan or some strategy?
Well, that's really important. People have a difficult time leaving a narcissist, no matter if it's been a year or you've been with them for 40 years. Because they don't make it easy. And it's almost a narcissistic injury if you decide to leave first. So what can happen, and usually happens, is that they turn. Your friend, your best friend, your soulmate is now your enemy. And they're going to do anything they can. That includes hiding money and, anything they can do. So you have to plan your exit so efficiently, because if you don't, they're going to walk all over you. And we actually put a leaving plan on our website. It's about 28 pages, checklists and things for you to look at and go, hide this, gather these papers and put them off site. Get these copies before you leave, because my ex-husband blew up all the stuff on the computers, and I had no access to it. So knowing that these things could happen, you have to protect yourself and plan for it in the most smartest way you can, so that you get out safely, you have money for your children, you have a nest egg to get out without having to crawl back to them, because that's what they ultimately want. By hiding the money, you're going to be in their debt. They're going to have to keep you around, and then you've lost your control.
Wow. And all these resources are available on your website right now? So NarcissistAbuseSupport.com. Wow.
Yeah.
So, Tracy, what is next? You've been touching so many hearts and souls globally. What is next for you, and what is next for this amazing movement?
Well, to me, I just want to bring healing ways to victims so that they can exit, they can move on with their life. They can learn that there was some responsibility on their own part.
Mm-hmm.
They were a victim, but they also have some accountability in allowing things to happen. And that's not to victim blame and say, oh, you did this, that's why he did that. It's more about, like for me, I didn't know what boundaries were. So I have to learn boundaries and saying no. And that's my own fault. I didn't know. So as you start to learn the things inside of you that you can heal, narcissists attack and actually target somebody with vulnerabilities that maybe you are unable to support yourself or your children. Maybe you've just lost somebody. They target these things. And so if you can heal those wounds, the next person will not be, and the next narcissist will not find you as a good target because you're stronger. Mm-hmm. So for me, the next step is I want to do more research. I want to build a database of some of the facts so that we can make a change and get it more recognized in the normal domestic violence arena.
Yeah.
If we know how many people are out there, if we know how often financial abuse happens, these are numbers that can change the world. If we don't have them, there's nobody going to say, oh, yeah, well, some people try to commit suicide, but we don't know how many, so we're not going to, consider it.
Yeah.
But it's all about the numbers, I think, and it's about bringing the help and the supports to the survivors.
Absolutely. Wow, Tracy, thank you for dropping some knowledge on us today. I mean, and it sounds like, the website has a lot more jewels and things going on there than I even realized. So that is amazing. Keep up the
we've
good
got
work.
a quiz. So we've got a quiz on the site that people can find out where they are in the stage, if you're with a narcissist, and where you are in the stage of recovery and what you need to do at that point. There's a lot of anger that goes on and releasing that anger, and not so much the word forgiveness, but letting it go so you're not a prisoner to it. And we have a PTSD course, which helps you get rid of those triggers, because when you're walking down the street and something triggers you and you want to crawl in a ball for a month, you have to learn how to manage that, or going forward, your life is not going to be as full as it should be. So we've got all those resources and free resources and all kinds of fun stuff. So definitely visit the website.
Yeah. And how can people reach you, Tracy? And of course, to follow you on across, social media?
Well, narcissistabusesupport.com is my website. I have a YouTube channel. It is Tracy A. Malone, and you'll see it's all about narcissists. I hit 5,500 subscribers yesterday.
All right.
And almost 500,000 people have been watching that. I also have podcasts.
Yeah.
And all my social media is dedicated to this, including my favorite, which is Pinterest.
Yeah.
So I love to make memes and help people visually get the message, because it's fun.
Yeah, it makes a difference. Tracy Malone, Tracy, thank you so much for joining us today. I truly appreciate you. And you know that we've got that connect, we got that stuff going on. So whenever there's anything else going on with you, any announcements and stuff, you know that you need to hit me up first and let me know, hey, Ash, this is going on. So X, Y, and Z.
Thank you.
And we'll get that going. So we appreciate that. And I thank you guys for supporting the movement. Keep in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face and tell them, don't believe me, just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for. We're doing this for the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is way better. Until next time, you guys.